Love's for beginners, ain't no winners. It slips through your fingers, I ain't telling no lies. So F all the drama, F the karma. Just do what you wanna, promise you got time. Be you and keep looking forward. Don't you look backwards and you'll be fine. Come through and say what you need to. Don't let them put you down. Baby, let me tell you what it feels like. Being independent, no trouble inside. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life. Let me tell you what it feels like. Being no mama, yeah, to yourself right. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life. Come get your future, know you wanna. She'll never betray ya, she ain't telling no lies. Don't break the glass ceiling, find your meaning, make truth out of dreaming, yeah. Baby, let me tell you what it feels like. Being independent, no trouble inside. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life. Let me tell you what it feels like. Being no one's mama, yeah, to yourself right. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life. Be you and keep looking forward. Don't you look backwards and you'll be fine. Come through and say what you need to. Don't let them put you down. Baby, let me tell you what it feels like. Being independent, no trouble inside. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life. Let me tell you what it feels like. Being no one's mama, yeah, to yourself right. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life.
Question: did you get a chance to meet with the royal family? And if not, how was it like having them there in the building?
Jesus, Mary, and Joseph?
The Prince and Princess of Wales.
Oh, no, I did not. I'm only familiar with one royal family. I don't know too much about that one.
Hello, everyone. Can everyone hear me? Happy Sunday, folks. How are we all day? Got some exclusive footage and pictures from a squaddy who attended an event where Charles was. Some interesting things to note from that, actually, because it might tell us what to expect from the coronation. So, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe, please. Right. Give me a sec. My computer is being funny. Let's see who's in the chat. Almost 400 of you in the chat. Thumbs up. Thumbs up, folks. Hi, Church Nelly. Happy Super Sunday. guys, they've already started on the whole, will Harry and Meghan come? And if Harry and Meghan come, will they be on this balcony? Will they be in that chariot? Will they be here, there, or the third? Like, it's already started. The obsession. Julia, you are finished 5 hours outside shoveling snow. It was like a snow bomb. Oh my goodness. So sorry. Okay, this might sound like a really stupid question, because if you could do it, you probably would have. But why don't people like just try to use hot water? Or is it like so cold that it just like freezes instantly? Like, yeah, that's probably why, right? That was a stupid question. Oh, I hope you're okay. Whenever we have snow in the UK, even though it's just a couple of inches, people actually steal the salts from the salt lockers that they're meant to put on the roads. It's ridiculous. Like, that's meant to go on the road to help people, and people just steal it for themselves to put outside their houses. Oh, is it someone's birthday? Whose birthday is it? Whose birthday is it in the chat? Oh gosh, now I can't see. Somebody post again whose birthday it is. Whose birthday is it? I thought I saw someone say happy birthday to someone, but I missed the name. Hi everyone, if you're just joining the chat. Hi Cynthia, hey Sandy, hey Connie. London lady, evening everyone. Looks like we left the UK just in time. Have you left as well? Are you on holiday? Where have you gone? I mean, I'm glad I left, but I have no plans to go back. Only to visit anyway. Miss P Talk, she said, we had snow last week in the UK, but the next day melted away. Okay. And your hot water does create ice. We use rock salt on our walkway. Yes, that is a much better option than my incredibly silly suggestion. Okay. Let's get straight to it, folks. Only a few things to talk about today. First of all, Harry breaking all the records. And he has now overtaken former President Barack Obama. So The Promised Land came out 17th of November 2020. Spare obviously came out 10th of January of this year. First day sales for Promised Land were over 887,000. First day for Spare over 1 million. First week 1.7 million for Promised Land. First week for Spare 1.8 million. So that's units sold in all formats in the US and Canada only. So pretty darn impressive from both men, but just wow from Harry. I mean, I was expecting high sales, but nothing compared to what we're getting now. And I do think both the Netflix documentary and the just the onslaught from the press actually helped in the end. You know, they throw everything at the wall in an effort to dampen things, and it just never works. Okay, so also in the United Kingdom news, something very important, I think, for everyone who lives in the UK to think about: healthcare. There has been a very obvious, very coordinated agenda when it comes to the NHS. They want the NHS to be private. And I do believe, unless there is a very strong fight from the majority of the British public, this is going to happen, because they're really pushing for it. So Sajid Javid, He started as a paid advisor to investment bank JP Morgan in August 20th. This was posted by Carol Vorderman, who's a famous TV personality here in the UK. And then on May 21st, JP Morgan forms Morgan Health. June 21st, Javid is health secretary. Mind you, this man has no history in healthcare whatsoever. The guy was a banker. He probably doesn't even know first aid. And then on November 22nd, Morgan Health says they are aggressively investing in promising healthcare companies. On January 23rd, Javid calls for NHS reform. Actually, I think I made a mistake by saying January 23rd, unless you meant last year, but literally just 2 days ago, this guy was talking about you should have to pay for GP appointments, or if you go to A&E, something that we don't pay for here in the UK. Our healthcare is paid for through national insurance and taxes. So if I'm paying national insurance and tax, are they still going to be taking that money from national insurance and tax if I'm paying private for private healthcare? What's happening here? They are systematically lowering the quality of life in the UK while increasing the cost of living. It's mental. So something for you all to think about. There's a lot that can be done to stop this, but it takes collective action. Well, thank you to, there was someone who was a member for 5 months, Kim Brown. Thank you so much for being a member for 5 months, Kim Brown. And thank you to Sharon Augustine for the super chat. Much appreciated. Levy, private healthcare has slowly been introduced for years. Yeah, I remember at one point, who was it now? Richard Branson. I think he tried to make a gun for private healthcare. He had like Virgin Healthcare. It doesn't seem to have gone anywhere. Yes, you will suffer the consequences if you stay silent. Mad World, you said they are destroying the NHS for a private-based system. McCullough and James O'Brien was told if you have private, you'll be pushed to the head of the line. Oh gosh. All right, on to the next thing. Mad Wilson, do you know how many Americans are home? Yeah, I've watched all the documentaries about this. I mean, I've also seen videos of people jumping off of like ambulance beds because they don't want to pay the fees. Boy. Anyway, on to the next thing. Right. This came out in the Independent that Jeremy Clarkson basically made his apology to protect his beer brand. Well, I don't think it was just his beer brand. I think he's just trying to protect his brand in general. Camilla promised him the world and it backfired. And it says Jeremy Clarkson issued his apology to Prince Harry in a bid to spare the reputation of his lager brand. I didn't even know he had a lager brand. And his farm has shut down anyway. And they're claiming that they understand that Mr. Hornby, who's a co-founder of Hawkstone, feared that more pubs would drop the lager. I don't know why they're scared, because there's a lot of people, especially the older pub going crowd, who really don't care about what Jeremy Clarkson said, and if anything they support what he said. And that apparently it was there is a Mr. Johnny who is friends with both Jeremy Clarkson and Harry, who was the middleman. Well, if that's the case, well, he should have done a better job at telling his friend on how to give an actual apology, because that was not an apology. It was disgraceful. Right, on to Coronation news. Now, details of the coronation have now come out. It's going to be a 3-day spectacle. There seems to be a lot of back and forth as to whether or not it's going to be all the pomp and pageantry of what we saw last time from Lizzie's coronation, or whether or not it will be toned down. Nobody seems to be giving a straight answer. You got some reports saying that it will be toned down. You got others saying that it will be all the pomp and pageantry and gold. So I guess we'll just wait until the day to find out. Personally, I think the smart thing to do would be to have it scaled down as possible. But if it's going to go across 3 days, it doesn't seem like that's going to be the case. So here it is, folks. Your itinerary for the coronation. On Saturday, the 6th of May, Archie's birthday. We're going to do something big for Archie's birthday. The coronation service will take place at Westminster Abbey. Now, if they're going to have it at the Abbey, and if it's going to be conducted by the Archbishop of Canterbury, they're going to have to fill the Abbey. And so it's going to be a full ceremony. Let me just check again how many people the Abbey sits. Westminster Abbey, because that's where they have the big weddings and the big everything. Westminster Abbey capacity. Let's have a look now. So it sits 2,000. But during the Queen's coronation in 1953, tiers and galleries were installed to seat 8,200 people. Dang. So if they're going to go for the full shahaha, we could have 8,200 people in the Abbey. Just wow. That is a lot of security. That is a lot of, I mean, even 2,000 is a lot. 8,200? Okay, so, and then on the next day, Sunday the 7th, neighbours and communities across the UK are invited to share food and fun together at coronation lunches. So I'm assuming it's going to be the same thing with the Jubilee. Everybody gets out their bunting and they're going to be encouraging a lot of that. And then also, what do we also have? Sunday the 7th, a special BBC coronation concert will take place on the grounds of Windsor Castle. There will be a public ballot for tickets. Would any squaddies like to volunteer to go to that for us and be an on-the-ground roving reporter? Because I won't be able to go. And then on the 8th, the Big Help Out will bring communities together through volunteering to create a lasting volunteering legacy. I actually think that's wonderful. I'm just wondering why we can't do that all the damn time. But at least they're doing something useful. Right, I'll go to comments before I go to the next thing. Ginger Lily, you say, I hate to say Sam, but if your fellow countrymen continue to obsess over Meghan, not protest or strike for the things that mattered, you will have things like this erratic. Yeah, like the NHS. Yeah. I mean, listen, there are people out there fighting. There are. But we need more numbers. And unfortunately, you still have, for example, at William and Kate's last event, that was at a hospital. And he had all of the NHS staff there, clapping like seals for these two people part of this institution that are doing nothing to help the situation at all. So even people within institutions like the NHS are feeding into this system of inequality. Miss P talks, doctors and nurses are leaving the NHS for the Middle East. Yeah, that is happening. A lot of that is happening. I mean, there's also teacher strikes, and a lot of teachers are leaving for other countries because you get paid more, the children are more disciplined, and yeah, certainly in healthcare, you get paid more in other countries. Sonia, the coronation is going to be a historic event, but I don't want Harry and Meghan to attend. Past experience of the royal family, bad behaviour towards them does not bode well. I want them to stay at home. Well, they'll always do what they think is best for them, and it's left to be seen. A lot of people thought that they were not going to go to the Jubilee, but their love for the Queen eventually, is what brought them there. So really, I guess it depends on how they feel about Charles. and what they feel is best for them. Baby, the Queen was pretty popular when she was crowned, yes. Charles is going into this wholly unpopular. Dorothy Ross, I cannot see any of my friends or neighbors having a street party. I actually didn't see any street parties around where I was, and where we were living is a pretty conservative constituency. There were a couple houses that had like flags, but I didn't see any street parties. I saw one or two people on my timeline. But yeah, I guess it will have to be seen. It's going to show how people feel about Charles ultimately. Wendy, I hope no Black American entertainers sign up for the circus coronation. Well, you saw what happened at the Jubilee. You had what? Diana Ross, you had Alicia Keys, even though we don't like Americans and Americans don't understand our culture and Americans don't know how to curtsy and Americans and the Hollywood and it's just not as classy. When it comes to these events, they'll bring all the American stars. They will. Right side, there's going to be a serious issue in about 10 years from teachers, medical professionals leaving. No one is talking about that. Same here in the US. Yeah, that is true. And I wonder what they're going to do to try and amend that. Because they're saying that they're trying to tighten the belt on immigration. At the same time, they're not doing enough to offer affordable training or affordable education for people going into the teaching or medical fields. So you're going to have to fill that void somehow. Right. Oh, and these are some of the reactions from the social media posts on the royal page. The royal queen was lost long ago. I think that person's probably referring to Diana. This is so weird and cringe. And are we really doing this in 2023? By the way, they have locked comments. So some of these are just the ones that got through before they locked the comments. We'll be watching. Can't believe the mistress is now... Oh, sorry, won't be watching. Can't believe the mistress is now queen. With all that has been exposed to the royal family, really, what is their role and why are we still supporting a real life soap opera? Somebody else saying, queen or queen consort? Philip had to go by prince. Just wanting someone to explain. Can someone please put all of their hostility, nastiness, and anger and hatred... Oh, sorry. Can everyone please put all of their hostility, nastiness, anger, and hatred aside for once and watch history in the making? Peace is what the world needs right now. Oh my God. This woman. Can you please put your anger and hostility to the side while we spend hundreds, millions of public funds for this overpriced party? Please forget how cold and hungry you are. Somebody else saying that they absolutely cannot wait. So it's pretty mixed. I think there's a lot of people who will be looking forward to it. But I got an on-the-ground exclusive. So there was a squaddy that actually went to one of Charles's recent outings. And there was a lone protester. It's the young lady that you can see on the screen here. Now, our squaddy, whose face I've covered with a smiley face, she was there and she saw the lone protester. And that protester was actually then escorted away before Charles could come. And she also sent me some footage. And I want you to tell me if you notice anything different about the crowds here than what we've seen more recently. So I'm going to play 2 pieces of footage for you. And this is the second piece of footage.
Oh.
Now, what's interesting about this and what the squaddie actually said to me, she texted me and she said, a large crowd of children and service people were brought in front of the already gathered crowd. Smart move. I thought they made it almost impossible for anybody to protest or aim an egg. So there's like a huge distance, like where the car comes in, and from the first crowd, sorry, where most of the general public are standing, and then the crowd that you saw, that was a crowd that they actually brought in. There was no one like, yeah, those were like the children and the service people. And so I think when it comes to the coronation, you're probably going to see more of this, having a lot of space and just taking protesters away before anything even starts. That's how I think that they're going to play this. But thank you to the squaddie for sending me the photos and the footage. And if you're ever on the ground, please do message me via Instagram and send me videos and photos. I would love to show them on the channel. Right. Ginger Lily, I saw a video of the late Queen making fun of Margaret Thatcher's curtsy in front of her. Yet the media had a heart attack over Meghan. Listen, Meghan may have fumbled that first curtsy to the Queen, but her last bow to the Queen at the funeral, that was the best curtsy I have ever seen. The Aristo girlies could never. So they just wanted to make something out of nothing, because really nobody else cares about curtsying. It's just a very weird thing to do anyway, to bow to someone like that, because of the position that they're. I mean, there are a lot of cultures where like you bow to each other, but it's out of mutual respect, not because somebody was anointed by God and all of that stuff. Miss P talks. Well, the UK is bringing carers, nurses, teachers, and doctors from African continent and the Caribbean. I mean, I don't know what's going on at the moment with immigration, but I know that, like, for example, with my mum, she came at a time when they did need nurses. They needed a huge influx of nurses. So this is why it doesn't make sense, like with all of this Brexit stuff. If you knew that you wanted to be independent, well, then you needed to build a workforce of people that could fill the void. Marilyn is going to end up like the Dudley, booing and trying to shame the Sussexes. William will send the goons. Yeah, I'm sure they'll send planted people to boo. They do it all the time. Lightside, you said, last time I checked, they polled 25,000 people. 95% they wouldn't be watching. What poll was that, though? Was it a UK poll, a US poll? Who did the poll? Healy G, thank you so much for the super sticker. Much appreciated. Thank you for coming to watch. Elaine Parker is saying, not my king, not my queen. Well, they are for now, unfortunately. I don't know. My shady self, I'm looking forward to the coronation. Thank you so much, Simon. Thank you for the super sticker. Much appreciated. Was there? Puzzle Dot, you said you're not watching. Maureen Reed, thank you so much for the super sticker. Much appreciated. Well, I will be watching for you, Puzzle Dot, and I will give you the rundown. So you don't need to watch. I'll take one for the team as always. All right. I think I've gotten through most of your comments. So on to the next thing. Right. Prince Andrew and Ghislaine Maxwell are back in the news for all the wrong reasons, but I guess there would be nothing right about Prince Andrew and Ghislaine Maxwell other than if they just disappeared. So Andrew is apparently, allegedly plotting to overturn a £3 million claim by his accuser, Virginia Giuffre. Now, I don't know. I mean, there were different parts of this court case. So this sounds like it's separate from, the 12 million payout. Why he's doing this, I don't know. Having said that, this has not been confirmed. It's just been reported in different UK tabloids. If it's true, I think it's a terrible move. Virginia Giuffre, as part of her deal, the 12 million that she got, she could not talk about the case for I think a year. But that gagging order is about to come to an end. FYI, guys, if I sound absolutely terrible and all over the place in this podcast, it's because I do genuinely have a cold. So I do apologize. I feel like I'm all over the place today. But yeah, I think this is a terrible idea. I also think it's a terrible idea that they're trying to bring Andrew back into the fold. And they did try to use the Queen's funeral, and I'm sure they will use the coronation to continue to bring him back into the fold and normalize his presence as part of, the working royals. And this guy is still getting his security paid for, Harry and Meghan are not. And it seems like at least royalists have just accepted that he's back in the fold. They don't seem bothered by this at all. And also, Ghislaine Maxwell, she is claiming that the photos were fake. This famous photo of her, Andrew, and Virginia Giuffre. She spoke about this in the Florida prison where she's serving a 20-year sentence. Far too short for me. I think she should get life. And so she actually said this in a clip that was released ahead of an interview that's going to be broadcast on Talk TV, of her saying that the picture is a fake. I don't believe it's real for a second. In fact, I'm sure it's not. Now, this is going to be broadcast on Talk TV. Talk TV is Murdoch. Talk TV is where Piers Morgan is. It's the same platform that has gone after Meghan over and over again. They had Andrew Tate on not too long ago, flapping his gum about Meghan. I think the Romanian authorities have actually refused his, I think he was trying to get out his bail. They've refused. But that's the news station that has decided to air Ghislaine's claims about the photograph being fake. The same news station that consistently goes after Meghan and where Piers Morgan has a home. Clearly an attempt to rehabilitate this guy's image. Right, that is that. And okay, I actually did not have anything else. Here is William staring at a sis. And I'll go through your comments and we'll call it a day. I think Baron is on, if not now, very soon. So I will wrap things up with your comments and we'll call it a day. Thank you, everyone. Sorry I'm all over the place today, but sniffles got the better of me. Madwell, I will be celebrating Archie's birthday. Yeah, I'm sure that the squad, as always, will come up with something fun to do. Great fundraiser, as we always do. Mad Wilson, so have Brexit supporters not realised that hate isn't profitable? Well, maybe for the British tabloids, but for the country, absolutely not. You know what the irony is? So now that the UK has left the EU, the country that I actually plan on moving to, they have a very particular visa now that I'm looking to apply for, and it's for non-EU people. So like, am I unofficially a leave person now? Because I'm kind of benefiting from it now because I've left. How crazy is that? But I voted Remain. Wild. Um, Valerie, I hope that Brits are brave and protest the coronation. I hope so too. Mina, that coronation is going to be a hot mess. Oh. I mean, like they turned the Queen's funeral into an absolute circus. So, and they didn't have to. They could have just stayed quiet. We weren't even 3 days after Lizzie had gone, and you had Charles throwing a tantrum over a pen. I think you're right, Mina. Galloway girl, you said, I think there has been a huge shift since Harry's book. Even with the haters, I've noticed that a lot more people seem to be seeing how toxic the royals are. It's still a long way to go. Yes, another thing that I just wanted to mention quickly, Jimmy Kimmel. Now I watched the whole Jimmy Kimmel, segment, and he kind of made fun of Prince Harry's book, and a portion of the book. I'm sure those of you who have seen it like know what I'm talking about. And I don't know. Did I think it was childish? Yes. If anything, I think it was probably coming from a place of pettiness because Harry didn't give him an interview, or it doesn't seem like he's given him one yet. I'm wondering if he was just feeling a little bit butthurt because Stephen Colbert got an interview, and that's probably where that was coming from. And if he had got an interview, maybe he wouldn't have been so petty. That's all I think it was. I just think it was pettiness. I don't think it was actually as nasty as some people felt. Um, some people felt it was. Some people really did not like what he had to say. But he didn't get an interview, and he just wanted to be petty. Joseph, you said Harry wins the all-important pocketbook poll that hands down thanks to Spare. Well, listen, he's winning in sales, and that's all that matters. Right side, you said that Virginia should just spill the beans at this point. I think so too. Best caption for William looking at our good sis here wins. I want to see your captions, please. I swear it wasn't me that said that thing about Archie. T baby, that's how he was looking at Megan, yeah. Oh, thank you so much, guys, for your well wishes. Okay, you said personally, I don't think Harry and Meghan should go to the coronation. I don't think they should either, but like I said, they'll do what's best for them. And in federal prison, you do your years and you don't get out for good behavior. That's good to know at least, but I think she should definitely be getting a lot more. And there should be more people in that jail with her. Jasmine Colbert was a better choice for interview. That I think so too. I thought the interview was flawless, and Stephen really knows how to get the best out of people. Wasn't he in his mother's stomach while she was his mum was pregnant with him, and she went to the Martin Luther King speech. That's what I heard. That's why he turned out as good as he did, because he heard that speech from the womb. Cinderella, Jimmy Fallon also has his nose out of joint too for not getting an interview. I've never really been a big fan of Jimmy Fallon. I don't know why. There's just something about him that I don't connect with at all. So it wouldn't surprise me if he was being a bit petty. All right. That is all I think from me today. Thank you so much, Connie Barmer. Get well soon. Thank you. I should be all right by tomorrow. Just a little bit stuffy in the nose. Miriam, William is wondering where she's from, but knows better not to ask. This is a recent picture, by the way. I think he was at something to do with helping young people, homeless people, helping the peoples. G, you said, why does William always look like he's annoyed when someone else has the spotlight? Yes. All right, folks. Cecile, I'm going to give you the last word of the day. Grand risings to the Sussex squad and Team Sussex. Amen to that. All right, folks, let's just go over to Baron. Have a wonderful day. Ciao. Oh, and thank you to everyone for the super chats and super stickers. As always, much appreciated. Ciao.
Love's for beginners, ain't no winners. It slips through your fingers. I ain't telling no lies. So F all the drama, F the karma. Just do what you wanna. Promise you got time. Be you and keep looking forward. Don't you look backwards and you'll be fine. Come through and say what you need to. Don't let them put you down. Baby, let me tell you what it feels like. Being independent, no trouble inside. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life. Let me tell you what it feels like. Being old mama, yeah, to yourself right. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life. Come get your future. Know you wanna, she'll never betray ya. She ain't telling no lies. So break the glass ceiling, find your meaning, make truth out of dreaming. Yeah. Baby, let me tell you what it feels like. Being independent, no trouble inside. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life. Let me tell you what it feels like. Being no one's mama, yeah, to yourself right. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life. Be you
You guys have played in front of a lot of celebrities, but what was it like to compete in front of royalty tonight? The Prince and Princess of Wales were in the building.
It was just a regular game to me.